Born in 1969, the Autobianchi A112 is the first small car that combines innovative technical features, excellent finishes, a young and elegant design, and the practicality of the three doors. It is the Italian answer to the Mini, compared to which, it is more reliable, more modern, and more practical, thanks to the tailgate. But, compared to the Mini, it lacked a sporty version. And the Mini, with the coupe versions, had shown that the market was enthusiastic about the little peppery cars. Given the lively character of the normal version, the conditions for a sporty A112 are very good. The first to understand this is Karl Abarth, who already in 1970 dedicated himself to the little car from DCO. Abarth presented the result of its ruminations at the Turin Sports Car Show in March 1970. His interpretation of the A112 is a sort of racing version, adapted to the road, white, with large red resin wheel arches, an adhesive strip with Abarth lettering, magnesium large wheels, and air intake on the bonnet. The engine is the one already mounted on the Fiat Abarth 1000 TC, the classic Fiat rods and rocker arms, on which Abarth has now experimented with everything. Displacement increased to 982 cc, and 108 horsepower, over 100 horsepower-liter, for what is a real bomb on four wheels. As expected by Abarth, the car aroused so much interest, that Fiat decided to shorten the time for the creation of the sports version of the A112, but the idea of Karl Abarth was considered excessive by manufacturer that it made reliability and ease of driving one of its cornerstones. So, Fiat is working on a less extreme solution. The Abarth, which in the meantime had become the property of Fiat, was involved in the first gestation of the project, with the aim of creating a car suitable for series production. In a short time, 2 units were prepared, one with a normal head and 63 horsepower, the other with a radial head of the 1000 TC, strong of 74 horsepower. Both were painted in red and black, with wide rims, and Autobianchi Abarth adhesive lettering. The first, official A112 Abarth, was born from the work carried out in Corso Marche, and from that carried out in Fiat. It was presented at the 1971 Turin Motor Show. Of the 2 prototypes, it retains the red and black livery. It has a power of 58 horsepower, and a gearbox designed to make them perform at their best. Success was immediate, and deliveries began in early 1972. The car is liked. It is an excellent compromise between utilitarian and sports car, consumes less than the normal version, and has a great character. On roads to drive, it becomes the car to beat, and this is the best advertisement. Word of mouth will be essential for the bright and long-lasting future of this car. Sales are good, despite a fairly high list price, and would be even better if it offered different colors and equipment. So, at the 1973 Geneva Motor Show, the second series arrives, with some setup and mechanical changes. Success is confirmed. In that same year, the A112 obtained the homologation for racing, and Abarth made available a kit to set up the car. In January 1975, the third series arrives, with the first big novelty, an engine increased to 1050 cc, strong of 70 horsepower, which first flanks, and then replaces the 58 horsepower. It also benefits from all the features that improve the entire A112 range. At the end of 1975, the color chart was enlarged. In 1977, the famous A112 trophy was born, the cradle of many rally talents. 1977 is also the year of the 4th series, that brings the new body, called B2, to its debut, with a roof raised by 2 centimeters. It is a real restyling that changes the appearance of the front and rear, with the first slight addition of plastic. The interior has also changed, completely redesigned. Slight changes also affect the mechanicals. From the 4th series onwards, on some markets in Northern Europe, it is marketed under the Lancia brand. It remained on sale until July 1979, when the 5th series made its debut. More plasticized on the outside, more refined and equipped on the inside, 2 important mechanical changes were planned: 5th gear, and electronic ignition. At the end of 1981, it will be subject to some production improvements. Paris Motor Show, October 1982, the 6th series makes its debut, even more plasticized on the outside, even more refined inside. April 1984, the 7th and last series is presented, which, thanks to an exclusive range of colors and special accessories, will be the most luxury. It is the one that has the shortest life. Production ends in December 1984, although it remains on the list until May 1985, when it is definitively retired, waiting for the white N-Turbo that replaces it as the small sports car of the brand. Let's now analyze all the individual series in detail, the special series, the trophy, and all the curiosities about this mythical car. The first A112 Abarth is only marketed in racing red, matte black livery. Matte black colors the bonnet, lower body, wheel arches, and tail panel. The grille is specific, in steel, painted in black, with chrome profile at the edges, and satin escutcheon that crosses it horizontally, and bears the Autobianchi Abarth silk screen print, and two circular fin friezes, which hide the two-tone horn. The headlight frames are chrome-plated, as are the thin bumpers, crossed by a rubberized profile, and the sill molding. The sheet metal rims are specific, and adopted only on the first units. From about the 400th model, the most well-known Furgat Raleigh will be mounted. A rhomboidal escutcheon is applied on the side, with the Autobianchi and Abarth badges engraved. On the tailgate, the Autobianchi A112 steel plat, and, in the tail panel, the Abarth emblem. The reversing light is mounted under the bumper, in the center. The double-barrel exhaust completes the aesthetic characterization. Inside, there are specific seats, with integrated headrest, and fixed backrest. Like the rear seat, they are upholstered in black leatherette. On the floor, a rubberized carpet. The headliner is in black vinyl. The dashboard is that of the first A112, with the central metal panel painted in black. The instrumentation is mounted on two levels, in front of the driver, on an elliptical frame. Speedometer, with full scale at 180 km/h, that incorporates fuel level and water temperature, and tachometer, with a limit of 8,000, both of large diameter. On the central part of the dashboard, three additional instruments: voltmeter, thermometer, and oil pressure gauge. The steering wheel is a beautiful three-spoke, Abarth branded. The essential, spherical gear knob. The finishes are very good, by the standards of the time, and make it a neat small car, albeit a sporty one. The steering lock anti-theft is optional. The mechanical modifications are mainly concentrated on the engine, which originates from the famous 903cc rods and rockers that moves the A112, and will be mounted on many small Fiats until the mid-2000s. Abarth Care involves the nitride crankshaft, but always on three bench supports. Increased stroke and specific pistons and connecting rods have increased the displacement to 982cc. The camshaft is more thrust. The light alloy cylinder head has larger valve seats. The carburetor is a double-barrel Weber 32D MTR. For a better cooling of the lubricant, an aluminum oil pan is mounted. The compression ratio of 10:1, the power of 58 horsepower at 6,600 revolutions per minute, and the maximum torque of 7.5 kilograms at 3,800. The entire exhaust system is revisited, from the manifolds to the final case, which has a double-output tailpipe 50 mm in diameter. The gearbox is the same 4-speed as the A112, with a shortened third-gear ratio, and 13:61 final ratio. The braking system is strengthened. The declared weight is 690 kilograms. Autobianchi claims a top speed of 150 km/h, acceleration from 0 to 100 km/h in 12.6 seconds, and on the kilometer from standstill, in 34.9 seconds. Average consumption is 14.2 km/liter. During 1972, the first series underwent some changes. In January, the headlight frames change, always chromed, but in plastic. In April, from specimen number 1441, the aluminum sump was eliminated, and the oil radiator was adopted. The final ratio is slightly lengthened, now at 13:58. It is now possible to order the A112 Abarth in salmon or mink color, both monochromatic. On these, the central part of the dashboard is in body color. In November, the alternator takes the place of the dynamo. The A112 Abarth first series produced are 4,641. The second series is distinguished mainly by the plastic bumpers, black, larger, and crossed by a chrome molding. The rear one has a recess in the center, where it houses the reversing light. The grille is now made of plastic, and does not have the chromed border. The headlight frames and those of the front and side turn signals are black, as are the handle tiles, and the side sill molding. The side Abarth badges are round. The plate on the tailgate is made of plastic, with a black background. The headlights are equipped with iodine bulbs. Internally, new seats, more enveloping, with adjustable backrest, and separate headrest. The instrument panel frame is square. The additional instrumentation is now mounted on a vertical support, fixed to the floor. The range is split into two versions: Sporty, available in racing red in two variants, and only the matte black bonnet, leatherette upholstery, and rubber mat; and the one defined as Elegant, available in salmon, with seats in black leatherette, and tartan fabric or velvet, and black carpet. Mink, and the new President Blue, with seats in dark blue leatherette, and tartan fabric or velvet, and blue carpet. On request, the salmon and mink can be fitted with a black hood. Optional, the Chromadora CD57 alloy wheels, the heated rear window, and the anti-theft steering lock. The second series was produced in 13,759 copies. The new 1050 engine makes its debut with the third series. This version, called A112 Abarth 70 horsepower, first comes alongside, and then, since September 1975, replaces the 58 horsepower. The engine, raised to 1050 cc, is an evolution of the previous one, developed by Aurelio Lamperti. The changes affect bore, pistons, connecting rods, cylinder head, and the entire exhaust system, which now has 40 mm diameter tailpipes. The rest of the mechanicals are unchanged. The tappet cover and the air filter cover have the Abarth lettering. Performance improves, top speed of 160 km per hour, and acceleration from 0 to 100 km per hour, in 12 seconds, and that over the kilometer from standstill, in 33.9 seconds. Aesthetically, the design of the air vent on the rear pillar changes, now longer. The larger rear lights integrate the reversing lights. The 58 and 70 horsepower are distinguished by the dedicated nameplate on the tail panel. Internally, the dashboard has a padded central section. The additional instrumentation returns to the center of the dashboard, although, on some 58 horsepower, it remains at the bottom. The 70 horsepower has a distinctive, new two-spoke steering wheel that will accompany all subsequent series. Another important change is the new rear seat that allows homologation of fifth place. The distinction between Sporty and Elegant trim is maintained. The Sporty one is available in racing red, Pampa green, and Bahamas blue, all with black bonnet, and interior in black leatherette, and rubber carpet. The Elegant is available in Saratoga white, salmon, mink, camel, racing red, Atania red, Etna red, Pampa green, swamp green, President blue, with seats covered in leatherette on the sides, and fabric in the center. The leatherette, and the matching side panels, were available in the colors, dark red, light blue, black, or brown. The central fabric, with two different finishes, striped or smooth, could be blue, gray, black, beige. Tartan texture on request. The carpet was black, or brown. For all, apart from the President blue, a black bonnet is available on request. Since December 1975, 4 new metallics paints have been available: silver, 2 shades of blue, and bronze. In addition to the optionals of the second series, there are heat insulating glass, metallic paint, and rear view mirror, which will become standard from April 1976. Also, from mid-1976, the direction indicators turn orange. The A112 Abarth 3 series produced are about 29,000, of which only 1,000, 58 horsepower. In December 1977, the 4th series debuts. The most important modification is the new B2 shell, with 2 cm raised roof, to improve habitability. Design profoundly changes. The front has a new, more enveloping plastic mask that connects to the new headlights frames. It has contour and central strip colored in silver. Direction indicators are also different. Even the tail panel changes, with different design of optical groups, larger and with raised ends. The bumpers are redesigned, and the front one ends with a small spoiler. The sides have pronounced shockproof moldings. Furthermore, the air intake at the center of the bonnet appears for the first time, with vertical conveyor. The air intake on the rear uprights are larger and completely black. The handles are black with chromed pawl. The tailgate handle is black. The identification plates on the tailgate changes, and an Abarth plate on the bonnet appears. Different sheet metal wheels with black holes frames. Different the exhaust terminal. The hinge of the rear crystal openable is now of a passing type, safer than the glued previous ones that have come off with time. There are 2 rear tailghock lifting pistons. The interior design is completely revised. The most squared dashboard is made of brown plastic. On the top, hosts 2 doors, the one in the center hides the vertical car radio compartment, and the right, a drawer. New instrumentation. At the center of the dashboard, below, the 3 additional instruments, with quadrangular design, and not very visible. The sky is covered by a beige pre-printed. The seats, from the lowered sitting, are profiled, and have adjustable padded headrest, of 2 different shapes. They are solely covered in beige leatherette, with a central part in velvet. On request, it was possible to have seats entirely in leatherette. The door panels are made of beige plastic. The carpet is brown. From this series onwards, the steering wheel crown is in foamed resin. The colors folder includes white, beige Ceylon, suede, and metallic bronze, combined with brown velvet, racing red, Atania red, York red, celeste, Darrell green, and metallic blue, combined with beige velvet. Dark blue, and metallic silver, combined with blue velvet. For all colors, apart from dark blue, on request it is possible to have the black bonnet. Optional, atomic windows, thermal rear window, and the wiper, inexplicably without sprayer, seatbelts, and metallic paint. Also on request, the alloy wheels, which, initially, are the Chromadora CD57 of the previous series, or the new CD63 or Speedline SL017, of equal design, which will soon remain the only ones. The mechanical part sees changes to the gearbox, with new synchronizers, levers, and first gear shorter. The clutch is larger, more effective engine supports. Another important modification to the braking system, the brake booster, is eliminated, and replaced with the Bendix system. The carburetor is also improved, as the throttle command. From the 4th series onwards, on some northern European markets, the A112 is marketed as Lancia. The 4th series, known in Italy as Squared Roof, Cinecina, or Diabolic, was produced in about 26,000 units. The most important novelty of the 5th series is in mechanicals. Finally, the 5-speed gearbox is available. Also adopted, electronic ignition. Externally, plastic is increasingly present. Fenders appear connected to the side profile, and, by rubberized bellows, the bumper. The front bumper has a larger license plate. Change the front mask to horizontal strips, and below it, a vertical strip that combines the 2 direction indicators. New plastic on the air intake of the bonnet. More changes to the rear. The tail panel is fully covered by a plastic frame that incorporates the renewed optical groups and license plate. All the identification plates change, and the Abarth emblem disappears on the sides. In its place, a plate on the front fender that moves the lateral repeater backwards. The Autobianchi emblem on the mask is red, and, on light colors, resumes the body color. Different the outer mirror, adjustable from the inside. The interior preserves the design of the 4th series, changes the color of the coatings, black, for all plastics, leatherette, velvet, and carpets. Change the shape of the headrests. The sky is gray. On request, total leatherette seats. The rear seat is split. Pastel colors available: Saratoga white, racing red, Ardenza amaranth, blue Lancia, Maroc beige, black. Metallized, light gray, cast iron gray, dark blue. Optional, thermal glasses, right external mirror, safety belts, and Chromadora CD63, or Speedline SL017 alloy wheels, of equal design. During production, the 5th series has had some changes. In 1980, the frame of the rear lateral crystals is eliminated, the wheels lose the black frames, and adopt the central cap with Abarth symbol. In 1981, he changes the fuel cap door. The gear lever is modified. In May 1982, the brake booster is mounted. The 5th series produced around 33,000. The 6th series has new bumper, more voluminous and enveloping, and connected to the most massive plastic wheel arches, that, in turn, are connected to the lateral moldings, more extensive. The rear optical groups are positioned above the bumper, and have new design. Air intake on the uprights are redesigned, and in body color. On the front, orange direction indicators are positioned on the bumper. The identification plates change. The sheet metal wheels have renovated, with same design to that of the Fiat 127 3rd Series, and are equipped with a central cup, with red Abarth logo in the center. Internally, unpublished the cladding of the seats, with a pleasant leatherette of excellent quality, from horizontal and vertical scallops, and the velvet center, designed to small triangles, available in 2 color variants. The headrests, criticized by form and excessive rigidity, are rubber, crossed by 2 vertical slots. The shape of the seats also changes, which provide for new brackets that allow the scrolling forward when the backrests are unlocked, the mechanism of which is now on the side. At the dashboard center, the digital clock. The sky is covered in black vinyl. The carpet is less thick. The starter light appears on the instrumentation. The trunk is now covered in plastic. The mechanicals is unchanged, apart from the new radiator, with plastic shells, and the different fan. The available pastel colors are Saratoga white, racing red, black, turquoise, blue Antibes, light blue, blue Lancia, combined with gray velvet, ivory, and Ardennes amaranth, combined with beige fabric, metallized, light gray, light blue, red, in combination with gray velvet, brown, and green, matched with beige velvet. The 6th series is the only one, among the Abarth, to have a range of colors, common to the other A112. Accessories on request: alloy wheels, Chromadora CD 145, burnished glass sunroof, electric windows, split rear seat, safety belts, metallic paint. The specimens produced are about 10,000. In April 1984, the 7th and last series of A112 Abarth is presented. It has only small changes compared to the 6th. The bumpers change. The front one houses 2 depth headlights. The direction indicators are transparent. The rear bumper has the bottom hollow to house the plate. Among the rear optical groups, a red reflector strip is placed, with logo and wording Abarth. On the side, a thin 2-colored adhesive profile appears, red-silver, or black-silver, based on body paint. Above, the Abarth sticker. The wheels have covers with Abarth logo. On request, the Chromadora CD 145 alloy wheels, that, on the latest specimens, will be mounted as a mandatory option. Internally, change the seats. Leatherette on the sides, combined with horizontal, red or black striped fabric, based on body color. Change the graphics of the instrumentation, now with a circular scale, and that of the signal lights. Additional instruments are placed higher. The light of the instrumentation is orange, standard, bronzed crystals, and antenna radio on the roof. On request, electric windows, sunroof, safety belts, colored in red. The pastel colors of the 7th series are Saratoga white, racing red, blue Lancia, blue Antibes, black. Those metallic, red, gray, blue, green. The 7th series was produced in only 5,200 specimens. At the end of 1979, the limited series gold ring was presented, based on the 4th series of the A112 Abarth. Painted in black, it has various details colored in gold, a thin adhesive thread that runs along the perimeter of the car, the plates, and the front shield, the sheet metal rims. On request, Chromadora CD 57 gold-plated alloy wheels. Inside, beige velvet upholstery, and ochre carpet. Only 150 units were produced. Legend says that it was set up to dispose of the inventory of fabrics and stickers of the Fiat Ritmo Targa Oro. In April 1982, a lot of most luxurious A112 Abarth 5th series was built, called Maquillage 1982. It is not a real limited series, but we will treat it as such, given the small number of units produced. Mainly the interior changes, covered in the precious grey checked velvet, borrowed from the Lancia Delta. The appearance is much more refined. The trim, also available for the other A112s, can be combined with 3 new colors, Nirco red, Antibes blue, and metallic brown, which will be the preferred one. A specific Abarth maquillage, for the countries of Northern Europe, was made in about 1,000 units, only in the metallic burnt brown color. The range of accessories is exclusive: bronzed glass, electric windows, alloy wheels, orange square lights, digital clock, steering wheel with black spokes. But the particularity is given by the headlamp wipers, combined with flat crystal headlights. Made in 1983, in just 25 units, by the importer Lancia for Greece, and destined only for that market, The A112 Abarth Smash stands out for its two-tone paintwork, light gray above, and dark gray below, both metallic, and separated by a thin red adhesive fillet. The red Smash sticker appears on the side, on the tailgate, and on the bonnet. Chromador CD 145 alloy wheels, sunroof, radio antenna, and right exterior mirror are standard. It seems that some units had the alloy wheels of the Lancia Delta. Inside, refined Sparco anatomic seats, in black leatherette and gray fabric, electric windows, and a Pioneer radio. On the door of the drawer on the dashboard, the plate, with the serial number. At the 1979 Geneva Motor Show, the Swiss manufacturer Felber presented an eccentric interpretation of the fourth series of the A112 Abarth, called Rubies. It is characterized by the design of the pavilion, inspired by that of the carriages, complete with vinyl covering, oval rear window, and handrails. The grille shows the Felber production badge. Over the course of 3 years, 3 specimens will be produced, 1 white, with spoked rims, 1 silver and 1 black, with Melba rims. At the 1978 Turin Motor Show, the Raitenfasor presented a small coupe, based on A112 Abarth, called Gold Shadow. The aesthetic, designed by Aldo Sassano, is decidedly modern, and incorporates some features of the Porsche 928. It is 30 cm longer than the A112, and wider than 3. Thanks to better aerodynamics, it reaches 170 km per hour. According to the press kit of the time, Raitenfasor trusted in Fiat support for production, but the Gold Shadow will remain a unique specimen. In mid-1972, the A112 Abarth obtained homologation to be used in competitions. The Abarth produces a kit, including 4-point rear roll cage, body reinforcements, engine protection, reinforced suspensions, specific exhaust manifolds and tailpipes, magnesium wheels, enlarged resin mudguards, and a light engine tuning. The A112 Abarth invades the racing fields, especially rallies and hill climbs. Low weight, strength, and mechanical reliability, performance and agility, make it the favorite of many pilots. And, with the arrival of the 70 horsepower, the response is even more enthusiastic. In 1976, Abarth, and the French importer Chardonnay, lined up 14 A112 Abarths, at the start of the Monte Carlo Rally. 13 will arrive at the finish line, and some of these in prominent positions, between 22 and 30 overall, ahead of much more powerful cars. The fame of the A112 Abarth in racing is increasingly consolidated. And, at Lancia, thanks also to the support of Cesare Fiorio, they make it the protagonist of a single brand championship that serves to wean new talents and, on the other hand, as an advertising spot for the little Abarth. In 1977, the A112 Abarth Trophy was born. The cars, strictly standard, have an identical preparation, using a kit, called K19, created by Abarth. The trophy takes place in Italy and France, where it is called Coupe Abarth. The races are held concurrently with the events of the Rally Championship. The success is amazing. Dozens of A112s are checked in some races. The A112 Trophy becomes the most famous single-make championship ever held in Italy. Over the years, it has become a veritable cradle of talents, among which they will emerge: Bettega, Cunico, Caponi, Tabatin, Sonato, Fabri, Caretag. The last edition takes place in 1984. The A112 continues to run until 1990, when the homologation expires. But, the career of the small car continues in hill climbs and slalom, where it becomes the dominatrix of the class. In more recent times, it has always been at the forefront of rallies and historic hill climbs, and regularity races, where it is unbeatable. And since 2015, thanks to Dean Bassano, the legendary A112 Trophy is back. The A112 Abarth is a very fun car. Thanks to the low weight, and the responsive engine, but also to the gearbox with well-studied ratios, a sincere steering, and a successful chassis, it allows you to go fast, much more than the declared power can suggest. The steering is quite precise and direct, it is sensitive, it lacks in return, a little slow. The gearbox has good maneuverability, and well-scaled ratios. First and second gear lead to easy skidding. The third gear is incredible by extension. In the 5-speed versions, the fifth gear is quite long, designed to lower the engine revs on long journeys. Braking is one of the best qualities. The system is effective and resistant, and the stopping distances are record-breaking, less than 40 meters. To stop from 100 km/h to 0 is an excellent value, still today. The engine is solid, resistant. It revs up with incredible speed and resists overspeed well. It is a reliable engine that, with the right care, is indestructible. It is also very noisy, but that hoarse sound, all aspiration, is more a virtue than a defect. The road holding is very good. It is a light and short car, going calmly. It is safe and predictable, even in the wet. Driving hard, she becomes nervous, tends to load on the outer front wheel, and lighten the rear. The shooting-release reactions are quite pronounced. Overcoming the limits, it becomes reactive, and, if you do not have the necessary malice, putting the wheels in the air is not so unlikely. However, it remains a sincere and satisfying car. Consumption is a positive note. Using it quietly, it has the consumption of a modern small car. The problem is that the A112 Abarth does not want to be used slowly. The A112 Abarth is an icon of Italian motoring. It is a perfect four-wheeled testimony of the Italian flair, in terms of the philosophy of having fun behind the wheel. Over 120,000 units, spread in 13 years and 7 series, are the tangible proof of a perfect recipe. It is one of the most successful small sports ever. Essential, light, sincere, reactive, nice. Unmistakable in sound, thrilling in driving, unique in personality and character. It is considered by many to be the last true Abarth, and it is not such an out-of-place title. It is a driving experience to have in life, and, possibly, a car to have. It has no major flaws, the mechanicals are reliable and robust. Economic maintenance, as well as management. The bodywork, on the other hand, has a fair tendency to rust, and the interior is delicate. But, with due attention, it is possible to preserve it, and safely enjoy the healthy emotions it gives.